I'm Andy Shaughnessy. Welcome to Talking Heads. Here with me this afternoon is Jetrin Orengburg.
Hello.
How are you doing, Jetrin?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
Good, good. Jetrin is a student at UMass Lowell, and as you can see, he is not nearing retirement. We're glad to see people like that. So you're tell us about your major.
Right, yeah. So right now I'm a senior at UMass Lowell, double major. It's electrical engineering and computer science. I'm also pursuing that minor in mathematics. It's an amazing major, really. I love it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Okay, that's what we need is people who think it's fun. That's
it's something worth doing to me. It really is. And there's so much there, and I'm so happy to be able to really learn all of it and really engross myself in it.
Well, we always hear that the next generation are slackers who listen to Taylor Swift all day and don't ever want to do anything except work.
Yeah. Who's to say I'm not a slacker, but
well, you hide it well.
I appreciate that.
So I understand you've been working on your capstone project,
yes.
And that brought you here. Tell us about your journey here.
Yeah, so when I got to UMass Lowell, I learned about this thing. They called it the Difference Maker program, and it's this student entrepreneurship competition, and I was so fascinated with it, and I had no idea.
Right.
So that sat in the back of my mind until one day I was in a physics class, and I sat in the back, as I probably shouldn't have done, but I still did. And I remember sitting there in the back of the class thinking to myself, I am so confused.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to raise my hand, and I realized I don't want to look silly. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't have judged someone else for asking a silly question, but I was worried I would be judged. And, it's a silly fear that's not realistic, but it's still something a lot of students face. And I remember after that class, I was talking to a few friends, and I said, do you guys have any idea what we learned about today? And my friends were like, no, I was lost too. And I found out all 10 of us were lost. And I said, that is so silly. We all are paying for this class and we're sitting here doing nothing. Right. And it was then I said to my friend, I wish there was a way for the professor to know when the students were confused. And all of a sudden for me, it just clicked. And I said, well, I wish there's a way for this. So why not make a way for this?
Right.
And from then I went to Difference Maker. I talked to the guys down there and they helped me brainstorm and create this idea and this product. And from there, we competed with it. We won first place in the engineering prototyping competition. We won a high placement in one of the other idea challenge competitions. Next thing we know, BU wants me to speak about my project and my journey as a student entrepreneur. And all of a sudden I'm here. And it's just been this crazy snowball of a journey that's been something I expect to wake up from in a dream and think, oh, I wish that happened in real life. Yet here I am. So it's been amazing.
So what are you looking for? What brought you? I mean, you sort of explained it, but what are you looking for specifically at the show?
Yeah, well, first of all, something I've come to learn is PCB design and fabrication and assembly. It is not cheap. It really isn't. And we won money from UMass Lowell, but even then, with the funds that we're trying to use, it's really, really expensive, and we're eating away at our budget. So one of my professors, he said, talk to some of the guys at PCB East, and he set us up. He got us into contact, and all of a sudden we're emailing all the guys who are making this possible, and they say, come to this event, it's great. And I was telling with my partner, my groupmates last second, let's do this. So here we are. We've met so many amazing manufacturers, and who have these amazing offers and deals that they're making with us. And I was joking with Kevin, who works with me here. I was saying, if we walked away just then and there, I would be ecstatic. And next thing you know, we're being introduced to some of the biggest names I've ever heard in this PCB industry. And they're saying to us, we want to help you. What can we do to help? And I made a joke to one of the guys. I said, well, what's in it for you? You guys are offering they said, use our assembly line, use our factory. I said, what's in it for you? And he said, well, this is an idea worth doing. We love this idea and we want to help you. Mm-hmm. And so I came here looking for someone to give affordable rates, and we're leaving with so many people who are asking us to help, and so many just the most amazingly intelligent and I guess advanced people in the industry. Yeah. It is more than I wouldn't even joke about everything that we got, because I couldn't imagine that we got. So yeah, I'm ecstatic. I really am.
Well, that's one thing. Everybody that I know in this industry will help somebody out. You even hear people who are competitors, like if somebody's, if their line breaks down or whatever, they'll call the rival across town and say, hey, can I borrow this to, and they'll do it,
That's what's crazy. And some of the guys here too, they were saying, we can't do what you want, but talk to this guy, our competitor.
Right.
I'm like, sure, I'd love to, yeah.
Right.
And then making introductions.
It's a small industry, but it's all good people. And I know, and they see that you're a young person who loves this. And we need more, because we went like 20 years where very few young people came into the industry. But it's starting to turn now. It's becoming cool again.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, and when, we have these struggles that are hard to, we don't know what to do.
Right.
We have this community of people who are helping us to fix these problems. And that's what's keeping us in the industry. It's what's keeping us engaged and continuing on this project.
Right.
Because there are people willing to help us, which is something that, in my opinion, a lot of industries you really don't see.
Right.
So that's what makes it such an amazing industry.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit about this board. How does it work and what does it do?
Yeah, so this is our version 3.
Hold it up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, this is the...
I don't know if they can see it. They can't really see it
this way.
See it enough.
Yeah. So this is the comprehension clicker. It's a real-time student feedback device. On the board, there's 5 buttons plus an additional button for questions. It is patent pending. And the idea for this device is within a classroom, every student gets one of these remote controls. And with the remote control, at any time during the lecture, they can express their real-time level of understanding. So if you're my lecturer and you're talking to me and maybe you make a gaffe, you say something confusing, I'd press a lower number, 1, 2. Or maybe if everything is going great, too fast, I can maybe even, too slow, I can hit a higher number.
Right.
And then as an educator, you are now going to have on a tablet or on a screen this real-time number that changes, that shows the average understanding of all students within a lecture.
Wow.
And the reason why we find this so important is because for students, and I know this isn't a great mindset, but this goes back to what I said originally, but for students, sometimes if I have a question, I won't ask my question because I'm scared I'm the only one with the question. And maybe I know I wouldn't judge someone for asking a question I didn't have, but we, as humans, we still don't want to ask those questions. But now, it empowers your everyday student to ask the question because they can see I'm not alone with this.
Right.
And at the same time, with professors, we say, well, how do you know students are understanding? And they say 3 things because, we conducted interviews with over 100 people from surveys and in person. And what we heard is they look for raising their hands, but not everyone wants to raise their hand. Right. We heard they look at facial expressions, but maybe I'm hungry, maybe I don't like you, or maybe I'm just really tired, right? That's help. And the final one, this is the one I hate, don't do this, it's quizzes. Because by the time you figure out the student, that the students are confused, they failed the quiz, they're complaining, and it's 2 weeks later, and you missed this opportunity to fix a problem.
Right.
So that's why we have this. Now the professors can see this number drops, this average goes down, and they can say to the class, hey guys, what's going on? I'm gonna prompt the class. And now the class has this opportunity to speak up knowing they're not alone. Right. And that's, we want to, one of the things that we're big on is we want to facilitate communication. We want to make new ways to encourage communication because with phones everywhere, technology, people are, we're forgetting how to speak to each other. And it's really a big shame. And that's why this is a fully hardware device, no online technology, distractions, whatever. This is something you can put in the classroom. It's battery powered, so we don't need anything else besides that though. Wireless, everything, no Wi-Fi even. So it's super simple and we're really proud of that fact.
So now you want to become an entrepreneur? You already are, kind of, right?
Right. No, that's the dream. I wanted to be, at the end of the day, this came from me wanting to improve a problem I experienced as a student. And this is continued from students I don't even know and professors I don't know in the hallways of my school coming up to me saying, I love this idea. I can't wait to use this in my class. Or students telling me, in confidence, sometimes I struggle to speak up in class, and if I had this device, this would change education for me as a whole. Right. And hearing those things, it makes me and it makes my team, it makes us want to succeed. And I'm blessed to have a team with me. I have David, I have Kevin, I have Safe. They're all, and we have mentors, and we just keep picking up, mentors like trading cards. They keep coming and offering to join us because they love our mission. And, and from that, we've turned into what you said, entrepreneurs in a company. And if we can even make 10 students' life easier for education, we're in for the long game. But the fact that we are having the opportunity and we've been having these conversations to make tens of thousands, because that's the skill that some of these schools are talking to us about. If we can help that for students, it's just...
It'll be millions. They're going to need millions of these.
And there's I believe there's tens of thousands of high-level institutions, and there's high schools everywhere. There's so many people who can benefit from this device.
Right. So how is it going to communicate with the instructor's receiver? What is it?
So these are based, so this is an ESP32 functionality. So the only thing from there that matters is when we have this device, they're using this wireless mesh network. Okay. So that means, in my school, connecting to the Wi-Fi takes you 20 minutes and it disconnects all the time, right? So this uses its own Wi-Fi based system. So they connect to each other in this beautiful network. And these little devices, they're like little friends. They bounce signals off each other. And it's really the perfect functionality for it. And then that is then turned into something that can be read by either the teacher's tablet or the app on the computer, where we can display this data and later download this data to see, data after the fact, CSVs and other things to import into other, other softwares.
And then hopefully by the end of the semester, all the numbers have grown where the people are saying they understand it.
Right. And at the end of the day, even if we're always seeing these lower numbers, at least we're prompting questions, and that's what we want. The more questions, the more we can learn, because chances are, even though I don't always feel like it, if I have a question, I guarantee you in my class of 30, at least 5 other people have it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of these things where you wonder why somebody didn't come up with it earlier. It's such a...
Yeah, no, I mean, there's cousins, there's devices that are just for multiple choice polling, someone said to me, well, isn't multiple choice polling real-time feedback? And I joke, I mean, it's real-time feedback, but only when prompted. This is real-time feedback in real time, all the time. It's unprompted. And again, there exists nothing like it. We are patent pending, fully enlarged, and helped us out with that. And we're a fully hardware-based system because, everyone knows whenever you have these phone apps and these computer systems, we're just seeing students scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and online shopping, and we don't want to introduce distraction. We're trying to increase engagement, not get rid of it.
Have you found a fabricator?
Well, that's why we came here, right? We wanted to find, because we've been using, Chinese manufacturers, and between tariffs and shipping and, shipping times with lead times and assembly, we are, as a student company with the funding that we have, we're grateful for the funding we have, but it's not enough to continue using those guys. So we came here hoping to strike a deal with some of the manufacturers here, and we had some offers that we were ecstatic over, but next thing we know, we're having offers to use some of these factories for free at cost.
For free, that's cool.
And that is something I wouldn't have even, I don't think I have the gall to even ask someone to do that much, but we were offered that.
They want to help.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it's funny as it sounds, I guess the manufacturer we found is ourselves. We are now going to have the privilege of being able to do it. And it cuts down our lead times to a quarter, it cuts down our prices to a fifth of what we were paying. And
very good.
It's something that I told you, I wouldn't even have dreamt of that. So the team is so happy. I was on a call with my team a couple minutes ago, and it was like a party. You'd swear, like, I've never seen everyone so happy there.
How many of you are on the team?
So right now, this started out with me, and I had, we started this for Capstone. We were fortunate enough to be in this weird part of Capstone where they led us to an entrepreneurship project. We were introduced to 2 other guys plus one of my friends. So again, that's Kevin, David, and Safe. And those guys have been working with me since, and they want to continue working with the company. So it's the 4 of us, and we're students, yet we're doing something that feels like it should have been done by industry professionals. Sometimes I feel like I'm LARPing with my little hat on, but really that's cool. It's something we're doing. It's crazy.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will talk to you again. I know. I have a feeling.
Yeah, not only that, and hopefully students will start to see this in classrooms, and that would make us so happy if we start to see them.
All right, Jetrin. Fantastic.
Again, thank you so much. I really appreciate the help from everyone here.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's just been the most welcoming community.
All right. Once again, I'm Andy Shaughnessy for Talking Heads. Thanks for watching.